we have a villain in this series, and it is going to be Kyrie Irving. And I thought it would make sense to kind of go back and recap how we got to this point. What all happened with Kyrie in Boston? August 2017, the blockbuster deal took place. Kyrie to the Celtics in exchange. I love going back and looking at these trade packages as well.
Because there's always a loser, and it's always the team trading away the great player.
Kyrie to Boston in exchange for Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, 2 draft picks, and something named Ante Zizic. The trade was briefly in jeopardy because of Isaiah's injured hip, but the Celtics added a second-round pick to complete the deal. Celtics made it all the way to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, thanks in part to a stellar rookie season from Jason Tatum. I was trying to remember who was all on that team, and you also love going back and looking at the team photos. Choppy, who else stands out in that team photo?
There's Gordon.
There you go. That's your boy, Gordon Hayward, whose wife, of course, is fighting with Sam Presti after Presti in OKC the other day said, my bad on acquiring Gordon Hayward. That did not work out. So it's Tatum, Brown, Kyrie, Hayward, Al Horford.
Was that right before the Hayward injury? That picture? Like, did that injury happen?
Which one? He's had 14
No.
injuries. I have
The one
no
where he
idea.
snapped his leg in half.
The one where his career ended. Like that one. Like that was the bad one. That was the one that changed his whole career. Like, it was a minute into his Boston run.
So they made it all the way to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. But Kyrie was out with a knee injury. He had surgery in March 2018, unable to make it back in time as the Celtics came up a game short of the finals. LeBron's Cavs narrowly beat Boston in the deciding game. Then, going into the 2018-19 season, they had this big hype event, in Boston, inside the arena. Kyrie takes the microphone during a season ticket, and I nailed this theory in my first month of doing this show 14 years ago. These are the types of events, these fundraisers, season ticket holders, conference calls. That's where you get yourself in the most trouble. And Kyrie said, I want to stay here forever. I plan on re-signing here if you guys will have me back. Crowd bursts into a standing ovation. Yeah, we love you, Kyrie. Yeah. All-Star game meeting with Kevin Durant. The tone quickly changes. February 2019, struggling as a leader with the Celtics, and asked if he was still planning to return. He said, quote, I don't owe anybody S. Ask me July 1st. All-Star game. He was caught whispering with Durant in the hallway. Reporters asking Kyrie, you planning to roll out? You planning to team up? And it's amazing to go and watch, and I did like a loser. I went and watched his media back and forth with Celtic reporters. It's a different person. Mm-hmm. He's hostile. He's defensive. He's angry. He's sarcastic. He's mad at the world. And now we'll play you what happened yesterday, and it's a totally different guy. And Kyrie's like, BS. And Durant later on is like, yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about. We were talking about teaming up right there. So the Celtics reached the 2019 Eastern Conference semifinals against the Bucks as the 4 seed. Kyrie struggles, but he keeps firing away. 37 of 104 in the series.
Is that good?
Including 7 of 32. Cat numbers.
Yeah.
From Kyrie. 7 of 32 from 3. He was asked about a shooting slump. He said, yeah, who cares? Who cares? Expectations on me are going to be sky high. So for the 22 shots, I should have shot 30. I'm that great of a shooter. Just unlikable quotes and tone coming from him. In July 2019, makes it official. He's leaving the Celtics as he joins forces with KD. In Brooklyn, the Garden wanted to let him know, hey, you come back here, 2021 preseason, we're not going to forget. Kyrie's burning sage at the Garden, and he goes and wants to cleanse the arena of the energy. And, of course, then we get the incident of stomping on Lucky, the Celtics mascot. Right in the kisser.
Right in the kisser, right there. Didn't they give him some kind of a video tribute, too? I think the Celtics gave him, like, a video tribute.
I think they gave little Isaiah Thomas a video tribute. I would really doubt if they gave. I'd bet money they didn't give Kyrie
The Nets
one.
gave Durant one for crying out loud this year.
Fam was arrested for allegedly throwing a drink at Kyrie Game 4 2021 postseason as he was leaving the court. Of course, I told you, he stomped on Lucky. He's giving middle fingers to the crowd as well in the 2022 playoffs. So that is a history of Kyrie Irving and why the massholes hate him.
And you get it.
Yeah.
Like Boston fans will hate on people who have done much less than that. This is direct.
Yeah, if you're born black, they hate you.
Black, yeah.
This is direct defiance of their traditions and their thoughts and everything else. And you're right. That's the one that gets you in the most trouble is you show up at those season ticket holder events or whatever. And this was a kid. It was like if you remember, it was like a 10-year-old going, Kyrie, do you promise to stay here forever and ever? And it's like, yeah, of course I'll stay forever. And he ultimately played a total villain. That's why whenever you run through that and you go back and you look at who he was and the way he spoke, it's why to me, it's like, no, nobody owes Kyrie an apology for misjudging. He's grown. He's changed into a different person. And so we're not talking about the same guy. You can't say he was misunderstood. He was very direct, telling people exactly what he thought. And Kyrie yesterday, which you'll play here in a sec, Kyrie talked about how he's different. He's changed. He's not that same person.
Yeah, and then don't discount, and let's not give him the credit. Give us the credit. We're not intrusive here. We let him do his thing. Like I bet you when Shan was watching those press conferences yesterday, there was a level of intrusiveness and combativeness with the media that the media has, not just Kyrie. He may have already gone in there on DEFCON. Is it what's the higher one?
1.
5?
DEFCON 1.
1.
I think 5 is like peacetime, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 1 is bad. He was probably already on DEFCON 3 just walking in.
Kyrie yesterday with Boston Reflection Part 1.
I will say, last time in Boston, I don't think that was the best. Not this regular season, but when we played in the playoffs and everyone saw me flip off the birds and kind of lose my a little bit, that wasn't a great reflection of who I am and how I like to compete on a high level. It wasn't a great reflection on my end towards the next generation on what it means to control your emotions in that type of environment, no matter what people are yelling at you. I'm built for these moments to be able to handle circumstances like that. And I've been able to grow since then. So, of course, it's going to be a hectic environment, but I'm looking forward to it. And I see it as a healthy relationship to have with the fans. I almost think about Gladiator, just win the crowd over. It's good to hear the TD Garden silent when you're playing well. They still respect great basketball.
So there he is, kind of regretful, apologetic, not the best version of myself. Kyrie finishes talking about his experience with the Celtics.
Regardless of, the attention that's being paid to what it's going to be like on my end, I have a group to lead that's going to be looking to me for a voice of peace and to be able to control what I can control and also help them through it. So I'll take the brunt of it, of all the yells and stuff like that and all the remarks. But I've been able to grow since then and acknowledge that, I just can handle things better, especially when I want to put majority of my energy towards playing well. I can't just be getting into it with fans like that, even though it may be fun at times, but it's a waste of energy. It's a waste of my time. And it's also a waste of my talent trying to answer questions from the past that people have. And, people are going to bring up the record and all the extra stuff. Again, there's idle time in between. So you see the media pundits doing their normal thing. It's cool. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the challenge on the court against the Boston Celtics and being able to lead my guys.
Look at the body language on the fan cam, Twitch, and YouTube. Look at his face. I just cannot believe what a totally different person I cannot believe the transformation. Yeah. I love the guy listening to him, and that was just an impossible thought. An impossible thought when he got dealt here, waiting for this all to fall apart. Again, he's so at peace. He's like Professor X, with the mental capabilities. He's
Bill Walton now. He's become Bill Walton with his peace pipe, and everybody wants to be friends. And
yes.
I love hearing him say, I love hearing him acknowledge there even that it's fun to sometimes talk with the fans. It's fun to go back and forth with them. And for him to say, again, you talk about a different energy, defiant and combative with the media in Boston. And he sits here and goes, you guys writing your narratives, and he goes, which is cool. Like, you got time to like, almost like just completely understanding. I understand how Boston players feel. I understand why media is going to talk about the way they are. You guys got to understand how I feel the way I do, and I got to lead. And he's reached a mature point that people tend to hit in life when they hit a certain age.
Now, how has DFW been different for him? Here's Kyrie on how he's evolved in Dallas.
The point that I'm at now is in my life. I have kids, I have a wife, I have responsibilities that are bigger than the game of basketball. So it's easy to put the game of basketball in perspective. When I was a little bit younger, I wanted to strive to be one of the best in the world, and that's all I thought about every single day. And that's where I had all my eggs in the basket. So there was no, normal life outside the game of basketball other than doing what young NBA players do, which is getting into some stuff they shouldn't be getting into and being around people that don't necessarily reflect the moral values that you want to have embodying as a person. So, I'm just speaking for myself, but I think it spills over to my peers too. But yeah, coming to Dallas, just being around J Kidd, somebody who also can relate to me about being imperfect and having mistakes in their life and being able to redeem themselves and persevere and still answer to the naysayers. I know it's not easy for him. I know it's not easy for Luka, dealing with things throughout his life, being over in another country, trying to lead a franchise. So, and I could go down the list of every person that's dealing with something personal where they pushed it, to the side for the time being to sacrifice for the team to win. And I'm just right alongside that. And that's what Dallas has done for me, is just put the main thing in front of me, allow the big picture to manifest, and have fun doing it in the process. And
all this love and talk about Jason Kidd makes me wonder and think, how was there not a better connection with Nash? Because that was the whole point guard, greatness to greatness connection that they could have had in Brooklyn.
I don't know that, Kyrie obviously looked up to Kidd as a player when he was a kid, when Kyrie was younger. I think that's the main, or it's a main point of it is that I don't know how much Kyrie cared about Steve Nash growing up. It's very possible he didn't care at all. Maybe he didn't like him as a player. I think that plays into it. There's no doubt the Jason Kidd factor's huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Or maybe Nash had to go through the first time what Kidd had to go through in Milwaukee, and learn how to deal with people that he, in theory, should have been able to relate to and connect with and do sorts of things. I will say I think that there's more of an edge to Kidd than Nash, and there's still a little bit of an edge to Kyrie. Not that he's like he's evolved and he's a pretty level individual at this point, but there's still an edge to Kyrie that he connects with more with Kidd.
And then finally, there are many who are saying give the Mavs culture a lot of credit. Here's Kyrie Irving on what the Mavericks organization has meant and done for him.
I feel like it's a great chapter that's being written right now. I'm enjoying every step of the way. I'm not taking anything for granted. I'm enjoying the hot weather right now. I'm enjoying the Dallas community and the fans here. We talked about this early in the season, just how much I felt embraced. But I think it's going a little deeper than that. It's really helped me grow as a human being and find my peace out here. It's good to breathe fresh air, get outside. Seasonal depression is real when you're growing up north. I spent 12 years in the Eastern Conference, in 3 cold cities that deal with 4 seasons. So you come out here and you're able to get outside and ground yourself a little bit more and spend some time with your family, watch your kids run outside, and wife's happy. What they say about a happy wife. Happy life, So I don't take those things for granted. It comes with it, and we're laughing about it. But on a serious note, I've just been able to grow and understand that all these things don't happen without a lot of the work that goes unseen. Just doing the inner work, doing the spiritual work, and enjoying the game and putting that in perspective as well.
12 seasons in the North. Seasonal depression.
Seasonal affective disorder, something I've heard a lot about. SAD.
Mm-hmm.
It's depression that occurs during specific seasons. So, if you've ever lived up north, between October and May, you don't see the sun. It's just gray. All the buildings are gray. The sky is gray. The people are gray. Your mood is gray.
I love it.
Sunshine. That was the cure he just told. He was like, sunshine's a big part of this, guys.
Yeah. Nico and the sun. Nico Kidd and the sun.